Alright guys, we're back in my back garden. Probably your first time seeing it maybe. I'm just going to quickly show you what we're up to. There's going to be some big changes today and moving forward as well. Alright, so this is, believe it or not, half the garden, so we can see the half on the right hand side, but we can't really see the half on the left hand side. There's certain things that are right in the way. So this sort of conifer type tree and this enormous bush that's really, I mean, it's enormously overgrown, really. We can't see anything through it. We want to be able to see the whole garden, especially the boys when they're playing. And so once they're removed, we can then come to this section where, again, we're still being blocked seeing a lot of the garden. So this conifer is coming down. I'm not a huge fan of conifers, but it is just blocking the view. And then once this conifer is down, we'll be able to see all the way up to here. However, this is just pretty much dense, fairly dense undergrowth now here. A lot of it is swamped by a monoculture of ivy. The ivy has totally swamped and strangled a lot of this, and also we're not going to be doing it today, but here this bush is so overgrown. If you can see, just wipe the bit of water coming down. It's been a bit of a wet day. You just barely get through if you squeeze yourself through, and then you start to see some really overgrown stuff. It's very dark here now. It's totally swamped by ivy absolutely everywhere. Ivy is covering the entire floor all the way along here. It's choking up the tree. See it choking up all these trees, and then it's hanging down here. Just ivy absolutely everywhere. So we've got to clear through this area at some point, and then if we go even further back into the garden, we've got this sort of compost area, and then some sort of hard standings. We don't know where all the patio is here, but there's so much to do. And this is the sort of back corner of the garden, and most of it is just, it's not even visible from the house. So we do want to be able to see a bit more and have that feeling of space and be able to see the boys. And there's a lot of work here to do. It's going to take all year just to make some sort of headway. We've just taken out this bush. We don't know what it was. It might have been a fire bush or something, but it does look like it got fire blight. It's totally dead. You can have a look. There's no green in the wood, and it's just come out from in there. And as the spring comes into life, we'll be able to see what is alive and what isn't. There are some dead things, but most of the stuff's alive. So we'll keep you up to date with what's going on. We've got some flowers there and there, and we've got snowdrops here. A little patch. We'll dig them out of that bush and spread them around somewhere more visible, but a huge patch of snowdrops here right in the shade. They look like a different species, a bit more delicate, so we'll dig them out as well when they're finished flowering and spread them around the garden.
This one as well, Ali?
Yes please. So Steve's starting on this conifer first, so I can start hedge cutting on this big bush here. Put you on the tripod, check it out. Alright, so we've taken out the conifer type tree from over there. It was lots of little branches that we're able to take out, and I'll show you the stem. So we'll actually take that out at a later date. We'll do one at a time. It's going to take an awful lot to dig those roots out. Just want the immediate impact for visibility really for now. I'm just taking one out here. This was it started back where Steve is. We can show you the trunk. It goes all the way back there. It started back there and it came all the way out here, and you can see where the grass is dead. It was flopping over the lawn and it was ridiculous. It had to go, unfortunately. So we're just taking out things that are just obvious, and then I'll show you what's happened with this bush coming out. So we've chopped it down to about sort of chest height. That's as far as the hedge cutters can go, and I'll just go down to the patio where I was first of all showing you the view, and all of a sudden the garden starts to open up to the left hand side there, and you can see a bit further through, although there's plenty of work to do. So this needs to go. Oh, it's just starting to rain, so I'll get the camera in its waterproof case, but yeah, that's it so far. We can see a bit further down the garden now, but there's still a long way to go. But getting this initial bit sort of opened up is going to be very nice. Making a bit of cutting room. Yeah. Good idea. Yeah, so it's fouling up. Oh, you can shove it in here if you want. That's it. That's good, leaving a nice high stump, that's perfect. Yeah, that'll give us enough leverage to try and get it out one day. Does it feel very solid? Yeah. Oh, maybe. It's got... You can see the... Might be able to get that out. We'll see, but not necessarily so. We'll see. We'll see. I'll get all this waste sorted out into a bigger ton bag up there, and definitely got a tip run coming. But I'll show you what it looks like now. So this is the view across the garden. Just go back to the patio. Okay, so with that conifer now taken out and all those bushes, the big bush taken down, this is what it all looks like. So there's still quite a lot in the way, but my goodness me, you can see a lot more of the garden through bushes and around bushes instead of it just being blocked off. And then the block for the view comes up here. So this is where the second conifer was taken out, and then go through the bed and up to this big bank of vegetation. And we'll certainly have to widen this pathway at the very least, but I think anything on the border would stay. There's a lovely firebush here, it's one of my favourite plants. Incredible red leaves for the new growth that comes out. That's laurel. Those two are on the other side of the fence. In this border here we've got mainly well, actually it's just from here onwards, all that green stuff you can see on the floor is geraniums, perennial geraniums that come back year after year. Beautiful flowers that just keep going, flowering on forever. This just looks like a normal buxus bush that looks like it's got some sort of deficiency, because you can see it's got some very light colours. And then if we look through the view that we've made back to the house, there it is. So loads and loads more work here to be done. I'll look forward to showing it to you throughout the year. Okay, next bit guys, so we've got a bit more time left on this session, and if we go to the side of the house, there's actually a greenhouse there. It's a bit odd actually, because it must have been put in before the neighbours extended out, so it's a bit wedged in the side, but you can see it's totally overgrown by bushes, which Steve's just taking down. And I'll show you how they've grown and progressed, because this right hand bit has come off this main bit on the left. It's layered down and rooted itself, and so it should never be there. It's just totally overgrown. And the reason that's a problem for the greenhouse is that right in front of the greenhouse is where the sun rises in the morning, and so it gets the morning sun, and it only gets the morning sun. So it's very important that we give it the full exposure, I think, keep it uncovered and let it have the morning sun. So that's why we're chopping down these bushes. We'll probably remove the small one that's laid itself on the right, but the larger one on the left, we're just going to trim it down and keep it. It's got some interesting foliage. We'll have a look. It's got what looks like either purple flowers or berries forming, and the leaves are breaking bud just there. So So it'll be interesting to see what it looks like as it grows, as with everything else in this garden. So I'll show you what that looks like when it's done. That's Steve's job, and he's just piling up all the waste over there that we can't fit in the yellow ton bag. And then I'm going to be tidying up this patio, so tidying up these pots. This is one that we've already tidied up, and this is one where there's thyme in this pot, and it was just two large plants, this one and this one, but I took them apart and there are all these seedlings inside. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seedlings. So I've split them out to give them room, and we've got loads more plants. That's chamomile in that pot. So we're just getting ourselves sorted on the patio. It'll obviously have a jet wash at some point and get it tidied up. Because my youngest son is having a birthday later in the month, and hopefully we're just getting things a bit tidied up and sorted out for that when we're having like a bouncy castle outside. Okay, I'll keep you up to date. Alright, we're calling it a day, but we've done some good stuff. This is the bush taken down, just leaving the waste in a pile because we thought that would be easier. Once we get a ton bag over and just pile it in, saves moving it around twice, eh? But it's really opened up the front of the greenhouse. Really happy with that, and I'll show you the waste we've built up so far. I've just put the remainder waste into that bed and filled up this ton bag, so it's pretty heavy. This is going to take 2 of us to move it, and I'll have to ask for someone's help when I take it to the tip, one of the people who work there. And then we've filled up this ton bag here, and that's heavy enough for me to carry, and a garden waste bag here, and this is the the pile for the tip as well. So we're just moving into this house, and there's so much to do, but we're getting there, and it's going to look amazing, and it's going to be really enjoyable uncovering it all as we go. I'll see you next time. Over and out.